A.K.A. Master P, man. Good morning, brother. God bless you. Welcome back to the Good Morning Show, P.
Yes, sir. What's up, Oliver, man? It's a blessing, my brother.
Man, first of all, we're doing good, man. And thank you again, man. So many people are buzzing, whether it's on social media, all over this country now, about this whole movement back to African Americans distributing, supplying, and owning our own. You know, the last time we talked about the Rouse's situation, grocers, essential stuff in our community. Give us an update, P. And I know you've been talking to people around the world, around the country on this piece. Where are we right now with this issue, as well as some of this movement you're trying to create?
Well, you know, I think for right now, Oliver, what we have to have is a plan of action. And I talked to the ladies that put on the protest for the Rosses, and I said, what's your guys' plan of action? Mm-hmm. And they didn't think it. They just wanted, we just angry, we mad, we upset. And I start thinking about this, and I say, you know, we have certain people meeting with these people, we looking at this, but we shut down this place, and then we open up the revenues for Winn-Dixie.
Right.
Winn-Dixie has 495 stores. They make $10 billion a year. And this company, Rouse's, has 64 stores, and they probably make about $400 million to $800 million a year. Right. And I'm saying we got to start thinking economic empowerment and stop thinking emotionally, because the only person I seen with a plan of action was you. When you sit down with the people, you sit down and said, okay, how can we get other black products into these stores?
Yeah, product and owners.
And correct. That's what I'm saying. So, but we're not thinking that. We're just thinking emotion, because this is what happened. When I start researching, that's why I say it's all about education. When I start researching, I start saying, well, they start bringing people back into their stores because they put stuff on sale. We going back into their stores, and now there's no change. Mm-hmm. And so I start thinking we got to do something about this, because, you know, at least from a small level, we can actually meet with these people. Mm-hmm. We can try to bring some change. And I'm thinking to myself, how do we do that? We have to get these other African-American products on the shelves. That's the plan of action. We have to bridge the gap, because these people are going to be around. I mean, that ain't even 10% of their stores, the stores we have in New Orleans.
Right. So talk to me about when it first started, when you and I talked. You talked about using their supply chain to make our stuff affordable, and you talked about ownership. In your conversations with their representatives or other people about ownership, about percentages of stores, about turning over, because I know you're not opposed to them. Hey, man, look, if you're going to shut them down here, turn them over to an organization headed by you and other African-American grocers. But
so let me tell you what I did. Okay. Let me tell you what I did. So I talked to them and I said, let me buy the stores in New Orleans if you're having a problem with it. Mm-hmm. They said, we're not going to sell because we're going to be okay. And I said, okay, well, what are you going to do for the community? They said, okay, well, let's talk about that. I want to do different things for the community. I said, but the one thing about having integrity, you got to be about it and do it. And that's the thing that we got to look at. And I start thinking about it. I say, well, you know, what have you guys done for the local product makers in our community?
Right.
How can we put this on the shelves? Mm-hmm. And even I have product. I'm saying, how can we put our product on the shelves and make sure that we able to put money back into our community? How can we teach? How can we educate? And that's what the same thing I talked to the girls that started the initiative. I said, we need to get something out of this, because we can't talk to Winn-Dixie. Nobody even know who the owner of Winn-Dixie is.
Right.
And so when Anthony Hucker is the owner of Winn-Dixie. They make $10 billion.
Yes.
And so how can we get to the man in Jacksonville, Florida? Yeah. We can't get to them. So I'm saying we have to start educating ourselves on this and stop thinking emotionally and figure out economic empowerment, because we got to go to grocery stores, because we don't own Save-A-Lot, we don't own Winn-Dixie, we don't own none of this. And then Wendell Pierce put up a store and nobody went there. Shut down in 2 years. So I'm thinking, if I'm going to go create some stores in this community, are the community going to support me? So our community have to support us if we invest in buying these stores. That's the first step.
So let me say this before Prof jumps in. You know, Prof, this is it's like a volume business, right? Walmart is able to sell at their prices, right? No matter what the condition of the stores or where they're located, because they buy in major volume. So, P, to me, one of the solutions here is that if Rouse really wanted to be a good partner, if Rouse really wanted to work with the African American community, they would partner with African Americans like yourself and others who had money, and who had opportunity, and they would say, you know what? Let's have a partnership. Y'all can use our buying power. We can open it up for black vendors who can buy mass and use our buying power so that stuff is affordable in quality like our stores. And what you're saying is they're saying right now they'd rather offer cheap products and cheap crawfish and reduce their prices than be real economic partners? Is that what they're telling you?
No. Well, the thing is, that's how they got us back into their stores. So my thing is now, when I sit down with them, I said, you know what? We have to go bigger than this. And if you have integrity, are you willing to do that? I talked to the son down, and he said, I'm willing to do that, put money back in the community. I said, well, guess what? You have to show us. You have to show us. They have that product in their stores. We need 30 brands like this into the stores. We need our own space into these stores. And he said he's willing to do this. I said, you know what? Show us. And that's the way we get past it.
All right, we got a couple minutes left, and hopefully we'll be able to continue this conversation with you another time because it's important. Prof, anything you want to add to this?
No, we just need our own stores. If I'm Mr. Rouse, I ain't putting nothing you sell in my store because I don't have to. I got 65 stores. I'm a millionaire. I will close that store and let it sit there and let you know that I don't have to do this. But
Prof, that ain't the right thing to do.
Man, but he don't owe us nothing. He don't owe us nothing. And it's the thing. For every Rouse's, for every one of these stores, there's a Langenstein's, there's a Lakeview, there's small boutique groceries. And if African Americans want to get into the grocery business, then you have to offer a comparable product or a better product than what the other stores offer. You can't give us a glorified corner grocery. We're not going to shop there.
No, go ahead, P. I got you. Go ahead, P.
So, Pop, think about this, right? It's the education and the resources that they have. It's going to take years. That Ross did it in 1960. When Dixon did it since 1925. We don't have the resources. That's what I'm saying. Now we got to educate ourselves now to catch up. We can't change the past, but we can change the future, and we have to support us. If we're going to open up stores, they did Wendell Pierce. Why didn't they go to Wendell Pierce stores? I want to know that.
Absolutely.
Because let me say the last thing.
Go ahead.
Starbucks was not the first person to invent coffee or sell coffee, but they did it in such a way that
it was a model.
It was a model. And so when we talk about, we don't know why certain businesses fail, but what I do know is that when you present a product, Starbucks was not first. And so when you present a product, right, that is appealing, that is exceptional, people are going to come.
Okay, I'm an old head OG on some of this stuff, right? I'm gonna tell you. Look, Prof, when you talk about new stores, I understand that. In an ideal world, that's correct. But much of the wealth that has been created within the white community, white developers, white businessmen, white distributors, is because somebody put them on an established brand. Now, I hear you saying it'd be nice to create our own, but when you talk about major distributors, when you talk about 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, or sesame seed bun, the psychology of advertising, if somebody really wanted to help, they would put us on. Like many of the major billionaires and millionaires in this community were put on by their friends. Now, I hear you saying in an ideal world, yes, we ought to have our own, but if you really care about our community, there ain't nothing wrong with putting us on. Go ahead.
Yeah, but let me tell you guys the truth, because I done been in Hollywood, I done been everywhere. We have to allow the process to happen. If these people want to give us an opportunity to put our product in there, we better start with that. We start with that, we educate ourselves, we better ourselves, and then we open up our own stores. But it's going to start right now saying, put some product in there so we could get some economic empowerment into our community. We could march, we could protest, do whatever we want. These stores are not going to close. And now, if they are stand-up people, I'm going to tell you how it is in the Bible. It say here, take from the wicked and give to the righteous. If they're about doing right, we have to let them show us. And if they show us, and then we're going to be a part. If they don't, we're going to continue on the mission. I'm going to continue looking for stores, but everybody in the city going to have to support us because we are building stuff. Right. If we don't support each other, we are constantly losing. These people are making billions of dollars. We thinking small, and it starts with education. It's not about the money. So if anybody listening is for real about this, and any people that producing products, let's get our products in their stores first. Let's see if they're going to be about the community and start, because none of us perfect. I got a brother incarcerated. I had to change my life, and I'm going on integrity. If you show me, then I'm willing to forgive.